Hey everyone, Bryan Baylon here, your Phoenix Realtor, and today I have a video. I'm going to talk about my home buying experience this year, particularly March and April of 2021. And if this is your first time coming to the channel or you're visiting again and you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and please comment. Also, love to hear your feedback or what are some of the pain points or great experiences. Maybe you've got a house during this crazy market. And so that's also really cool to celebrate. And congratulations if that's the case, whether you're in Phoenix or not. And we're going to get right into it. So when I was looking for a house, I got pre-qualified early in the year, probably January, February-ish. And my price point I was looking for was about 400,000. I was going to be about a 5% down, and I could put more cash towards my offer if I needed to, but I wanted to stay around 5% down. I started looking at homes, and when I would check out, different situations, this was in February, March, different homes were usually single family. They were getting multiple offers. So right away, it was going to be a bidding war, and it was. And there was plenty of the offers that were coming in at asking minimum. I mean, basically, if you're offering asking price, you're already low, and 5,000 was still low. I mean, it was between like 5 to 15,000 above. So that's kind of what I had to contend with. And the first house that I decided to put an offer on, it was in a city called Buckeye, and it's basically in the Southwest Valley. Basically developed probably mostly in the past 10 years. A lot of newer homes, kind of a Western modern feel kind of community. Lots of trees. So it's kind of neat when you drive in, you just see, a huge amount of trees, which contrasts with the desert feel. And, desirable community to live in, just far away from, where everything is. But still, a place where I was interested in purchasing. So there was a house that was about 2 to 3 years old, had all the, upgrades and things, single family home. And I put an offer with it, on it, and there was another offer that was for 400 already. So I kind of waited it out. I saw it. The agent actually met me there. And by the way, I'm an agent myself, a real estate agent, so I'm representing myself. So the agent and I had a conversation, said they already got an offer. It was for 400, and that's where they're at right now. So went through all that, saw it, said, okay, I'm just going to move on because I was unwilling to pay, 20,000 over. On the way home, because I lived about 45 minutes away from that house, I get a call from the listing agent, and they said, so that person who put in 400,000, apparently they ghosted them. So nowhere to be found, nowhere to be heard. So now my offer potentially could be on the table if I put an offer in. So I decided they have no offers right now. That one backed out, probably overpriced. So I put an offer for 380,000 and asked for $3,000 in seller concessions, which basically means I wanted the seller to pay $3,000 towards my closing costs. So the net basically to the seller would have been 3,000 under full price. So then I got a response from the listing agent, and they said that they were not going to proceed with my offer. And I was shocked because there's no other offers, and I was wondering what was wrong with mine. At least you could have countered, but I didn't even get a counter offer. I just got a no. I'm not going to take your offer. So then now I'm thinking, what's the story behind this? So I emailed and said, can I just get a reason why? And the agent said they're going to wait for a better offer. Now, keep in mind, I offered full price minus $3,000. Still very close. That could have at least warranted a counter, but it didn't. They just said, we're going to just wait for something else. I did research, and I looked into how much the seller bought the house for, and found out that the seller bought it for something like 250 something, and they were selling it for 380. And this was like 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. So within the span of like 2 to 3 years, they're making $130,000, and then a $380,000 offer-ish was not enough. It wasn't a good enough offer. So then I proceeded to let them know that that seemed a little off to me, that it represents the seller in a way that seems unfavorable. So I left it at that. But I was offended. I mean, I felt like I couldn't believe somebody would not take an offer that was very close to asking. I don't feel it was disrespectful, but I felt like they felt they were disrespected. And now I'm in the situation that I'm in. I'm not getting a house or not getting an offer accepted. If you're a home buyer and, as an agent, it's a little bit different helping somebody, purchase a home. But if you're actually the one purchasing a home, I understand it's very easy to get offended by someone who rejects your offer completely, like maybe even doesn't respond, which brings me to my next point. Second home I put an offer in, very nice home, 400,000 in kind of like central, well, kind of more South Phoenix, Lavine area, but in an area that's a little bit nicer. And they didn't even respond to my offer. And I offered full price. I offered 400, not a single thing, right? So that was a little bit frustrating too. But I also I offered full price. And that's kind of, I think, what the problem is that these homes are actually, they're anticipating 20, 30, 50,000 more than asking price. So a full price offer is a low bar offer, which was insane in any market. So that's what happened with the second one. The third one was actually in North Phoenix, close to where I live now. It was for 360-ish. 360,000. It was a newer build, 2014. Had all the upgrades, decent area, gated community, kind of almost looks like a townhome, but it was a single family home, and it was listed for 360. So there was an open house, a little frenzy about purchasing or viewing homes. They said they had a lot of viewers that came through, and they had like several offers. It was like 4 or 5 offers at that point. And their deadline was, I think, that Sunday or Monday. And what ended up happening is I submitted my offer like a few hours before the deadline, because I went 21,000 over. So I was like, I really want this house. And I pulled out every stop. Like, I went and chatted with the agent. I went to the open house, shook his hand, talked to him, talked to the other agent that was there as well, because I think they were kind of working the open house together. I made an impression. I told them I was buying the house myself and not look like an investor, because I'm a real estate agent and I have to disclose that on the contract. And let's see, I made a clean offer, right? No concessions. I presented it very well and easy for the agent to identify which offer was mine, and kind of even itemize the items that make my offer unique. I mean, it was like every stop that I could put, and even sent a proof of funds. I showed them how much I could put towards to cover the extra money that I'm going to put. And I waived the appraisal. I waived earnest money, non-refundable earnest money. So it was a very strong offer. I was like, this is serious. I want this house. And I still got beat out. At that point, I realized that's it. Like, I'm not going to be putting any more offers on anything. I'm going to wait for this market to cool, because it's just an insane market at the time. So that was my home buying experience. I'm about 2 months removed from that. I look here and there. I'm noticing the inventory is going up. So this is a little update for those that are watching in May. The inventory is starting to increase. I think we're about 1,000 above, because we were floating, in the 4,000s. Now we're in the 5,000s, and we're staying there. So that's a sign that there are either a lot more homes coming in, which that's part of it, but also demand is slowing. And seasonally, in the summer, more homes go on the market for sale. So it could just be the natural ebb and flow of the season. Last year, we had less listings because of the pandemic. People were trying to figure out what was going on and how to, what was going to happen with the market. It recovered quickly in June, but basically March, April, May, it was like frozen in time. And some people were taking their listings off market and things. And so it's a different year, of course. We're kind of exiting the pandemic, and we're seeing a lot more listings come on market. So we shall see what happens. And if I continue to go out and look for a home, I'll keep you all updated. Hope this helps you get some insight into the market recently. And actually, by the way, in the price point between basically 500 and under, it is still very hot. So you're going to see multiple offers. You're going to see, above asking prices, and people, I've heard stories of, 60 offers, right? So it's still very competitive for the 500 and under price point, but it's not. I don't think this is going to be sustainable for the long term. So the market has to turn eventually. We've been seeing a rise in the market since 2010, basically, but 2013 really in terms of actually seeing the numbers. So it's been 7, 8 years to 12 years, or 11, 12 years. So eventually the market will turn, and we'll see. I will keep you updated on that. Check out my videos that I'll come about, post monthly, and if something happens, I'll post sooner. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. My contact information is in the description below, and hope you enjoyed this video. We'll see you next time.